Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today is a channel update with a few fairly noticeable headlines. West is full-time as of October 1st here on the Quackalope team, and we're insanely excited to have him on board. Devon, however, has quit. He's no longer part of the Quackalope team. He's going to be shifting over to Boardgame Co. Alex, Boardgame Co. is now Chief Marketing Operator for Gamefound, and Quack and Co. is going to be a Quackalope channel, not a Boardgame Co. Quackalope collaboration. Instead, it's going to be Quack and Company, and it's going to allow myself and the rest of the team to go ahead and do solo content over on that secondary platform. Still always 10 minutes or less, and trust me, West and I have been brainstorming some pretty spicy stuff to put over there. So, let's go ahead and talk about it. Those are the headlines for all of you that just wanted to come for like the first 30 seconds of information. But let's dig into it. Let's start with West joining full-time. Well, as of October 1st, we have pinched the numbers together as about tightly as possible, and West has been able to actually quit his other full-time job and come on to the Quackalope team full-time. I'm insanely excited about that. There is a ton of opportunity and a ton of just realistically help that both Shira and myself need when it comes to running this operation. We've got stuff that is just about keeping the channel going as it is. We've got stuff about what we want to do to continue growing, and then we've got different ventures we want to start exploring and expanding into, things like merchandise and promo cards and odds and ends like that. So what's the deal with West? Well, West has been a friend for maybe 8-9 months now, and it started with him reaching out saying he just wanted to hang out with us. He was literally saying, hey, I'll pay you like $50 or $100. Can I just come hang out and play games for a day? I love board games. And I was like, you don't need to pay us, just come visit. And he turned out to be a pretty cool guy. And then he started coming back week after week, about 2 times a month on average. And for the context, that's not just down the street. That's 5 hours away. For the past 6 months or so, West has been developing his friendship with us, and also on his free days, the very limited time that he has, as someone that was only permanently working weekends, West has been driving up 5 hours one way, 5 hours back, usually staying for something like 24 hours to film, crashing in our basement, and then driving literally all night to get back home so he could work in the morning. And that's been incredible and also remarkably unsustainable when push comes to shove. It's just a lot of time away from his family, a lot of time split between 2 things, but he did it because he loves board games, which is amazing, which is really a thrill to now be able to add him to a channel where all he gets to do every day is focus on running and growing and building the board game community. So, his role is going to be a whole lot of things. First off, he's going to be visiting me a lot more consistently. We'll be doing a lot more content together, probably playing through some campaigns, probably digging into deeper, more in-depth, more focused reviews, absolutely bringing back the Right For You, Wrong For You series. And we've also been working on some series that are going to be more directly critical of the Kickstarter crowdfunding marketplace. While at the same time, the classic content that you know and enjoy here on Quackalope, whether that's Kickstarter previews, gameplay videos, the past 2 AM series that we've been doing that Evan, our editor, has been slamming through, West is going to be helping with all of that. But then on the back end, he's going to be helping with logistics and team building and communication between myself and the rest of the squad, which right now is Shira and Evan. But we do hope to expand more moving into next year. We'd love to get people that can kind of be a personal assistant for me. We're hoping to get some social media coordinators. And so there's a lot of things that we want to do. It's just a matter of the time and the capacity to grow there. It was not easy to figure out exactly how to hire West. We had to, cut back our resources, stick some money to the side, and both of us have taken a bit of a gamble on the fact that having another person who is gung-ho and is passionate and is invested in our community will be able to continue helping us grow and continue building and supporting our Patreon community and growing our channel and expanding into the different areas and the different relationships we need to have to succeed in this industry. So that's news number 1. Headline number 2, Devon Quits. And I have to be honest, I'm a little bit, not a little bit, I'm fairly sad and disappointed about this headline. This was in no way on my part expected. I honestly had planned moving into next year to onboard Devon full time to figure out how we could continue building and developing the Quackalope Devon Talks Tabletop brand and the jokes between us and just all the stuff we had going on. I really loved having Devon as part of our team and part of our friend group, and he was substantial in how we actually transitioned from the point earlier this year of not having anyone there to help support us to where we are now, where we have Evan and where we have Wes. But that transition, the growth and the support you have given him over there on his channel, and the fact that West is now starting full-time gave Devon the opportunity to really look at what he wanted to do long-term and take a step back from the logistics and the emails and the communication and the management that he was doing here for Quackalope, the infrastructure stuff that helped us grow, that West can now help balance. And so Devon decided that he wanted to go explore his own creative interests, and paired with that, Alex was in a position where he not only had the resources, but also needed a bit of an extra hand over there on Board Game Co. And so they had a conversation, brought back to me the information that Devon was going to be leaving my team. He was going to be moving over to Board Game Co.'s team, and helping start doing more coverage over there, whether that's solo videos or just collaborative videos or them both going up and down and visiting each other. I'm not entirely sure. But it does mean that you're going to see quite a bit less of Devon here on the channel, which I'm disappointed about. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out what the transition looks like full time. Being said, Quack and Co. had started being a platform where we were thinking about onboarding and doing solo content for some time now. When I was looking at originally how Devon was going to fit into the creative side of the Quackalope picture, because for 3 or 4 months he'd been traveling up for about a week, leaving his family and his young children, and his wife is a rock star, so she was helping manage that while at the same time being a full-time doctor. And so we knew that wasn't sustainable. And so there's a lot of creative things that we were looking at as a way to try to address or shift or adjust that. And so the conversation with Quack and Co. kind of started back about a month, maybe 2 months ago, looking at that as a platform where the team as a whole could be doing their own solo content, and not require me to be in every single video like I am here on Quackalope. I do think for a YouTube channel it's important to have some consistent personalities. It's important to have sort of brand consistency. And so we don't want to grow into some of the larger channels in the board game space that they have multiple hosts. Here on Quackalope, the real goal is to have multiple guests, but really have me maintain as a constant personality on the channel. And if you don't like me, I don't know why you're watching this video. But if you do like me, well, I suppose that's good news. Although that being said, there's also a chance that Shira might do some solo content here. If anyone was, my partner would be the person to do that. But no, over on Quackalope, the conversation had been had around starting to look at that as an opportunity for West and Shira and potentially Devon, if he had been still part of the team, to do their own solo content there. And then we got the news that Alex was coming on board with Gamefound, which kind of throws another wrench into the engine. I don't know if that's how the term works, but Alex is the chief marketing operator for Gamefound, which is amazing. I think it's a great opportunity for him. It's not a career path or something that I would like to do. I don't, at the moment, have any inkling or intention of joining a company in the board game space. I'd rather continue growing this and honestly distance ourselves from companies as much as possible. But with the knowledge that as we grow a team, that's harder to do and less possible, because no one in the industry above us has seemed to figure out that puzzle either. However, that's a side tangent. Board Game Co., chief marketing operator for Gamefound, which is great. It's really good for him. However, it does toss in some complications or some questions. One of the reasons why Devon is joining the Board Game Go team is because Alex is trying to scale back on the number of videos he's actually producing. And he's not very good at scaling back. If any of you know anything about Alex, he is obsessed with board games, probably more than anything else in this world. And so with that context, he has been unable to not just continue producing content over on his channel. And so Quack and Co. Now has these two conflicting areas. One is that Alex is, well, a full-time employee of a big crowdfunding agency, and Quack and Co. is going to be a channel where we're a little bit more critical and a little bit more analytical of crowdfunding platforms. And so separating that connection on our end seems like a reasonable thing to do. But then on top of that, we have the situation with Alex taking on another full-time job, which means cutting out 5 or 6 videos a week from his schedule helps him balance. And then with Devon coming over to support Board Game Co., his time and his focus is going to be on collaborating with Devon and Professor Meg, doing everything they can together over there in that space, which means here at Quackalope, we get to look at this property and we get to say, well, what are the cool things we can do there? And West and Shura being able to review, do lists, cover their own games, talk about projects, all of that is really exciting because 3 people producing content or 4 people producing content is, in my opinion, a lot more sustainable and in some ways a lot stronger than one person producing all the content. And so yeah, so that's what's happening with Quack and Co. That's what's happening with Board Game Co. That's what's happening with Devon. That's what is happening with West. So now what's happening with me? What's happening with the channel overall? Stuff overall is good. I'm focused on getting a bit ahead on our schedule so that I can actually take a breather, take a bit of a step back. I've been reading through the Stormlight archives from Brandon Sanderson. I have been playing some PlayStation 5 downstairs. I've been trying to not work myself to the point where a little bit of additional work or a little bit of additional stress or a little bit of emotional turmoil will shut me down, which has not always been the case, especially through 2020 and 2021 when the world was all on edge. I was both working extremely hard and also exhausted. And none of that I've never quite escaped from that. So I'm trying to exercise more and eat healthy and lose a little bit of weight and really just trying to focus on where Quackalope goes from here and where the channel grows into. I'm really excited to have West on board because there's a few things that I've really wanted to do. I really want to get back to our weekly Right For You, Wrong For You series, the in-depth reviews that we're producing. And over on Quack & Co., I'm going to have a list of 5 videos that I desperately intend to play this week. And those are all games that I hope to fit into one of those type of review formats, whether that's confirmation bias, played it once, Right For You, Wrong For You, the more critical conversation stuff that we usually do here on the channel. And then also, we're expanding into the things like the Past 2 AM, which is our take on the Tabletop with Will Wheaton style of content. Evan's been taking the lead on that, and some of his biggest edits are coming out soon. We're really excited to share that stuff with you. And then, other than that, outside of that, beyond that, really we're focused on where we want to go with Quackalope as a channel, as we continue to grow, as we continue to expand. And the big thing that we have on our mind and in our heart is focused on community building, whether that's traveling across the country and doing little mini conventions as the world opens back up, whether that is doing more giveaways, investing in the community, highlighting games, really whatever it is that you all want. So if you're watching this here, we have more capacity. We are expanding this month. We are figuring out what Quackalope and the future of Quackalope looks like, and I'm really excited about that. So let us know your opinion. I know there's a ton of people that are invested in what we do, that enjoy the content, that get some degree of benefit out of it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that take it or leave it, that there's some stuff that maybe doesn't work for them as much. I'd love to hear all that feedback and that comments and that conversation down in the comments down below. We'll be reading them all, we'll be responding to as many as we can, and we will be gauging them to see what the next steps are for our channel. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and crack a Red Bull, as is classic, and get this edited and posted. I might have waited to the very last minute to film this video. So, have a good one. And we'll see you next time.